but let's bloody check anyway. Yep. Right, let's go and have a little chat about this bike that's absolutely filthy. Right, see you in a minute. I've turned into a bit of a golf widow now. She's taken up golf. She's great. She does her thing. Hello. Say hello. Say hello. This is where I got done for speeding the other day. I come off the roundabout and there was a slow moving wagon in front of me, and I pulled out, and before I know it I was doing 57 mile an hour. And the boys in blue were just parked behind this sign and got me at 57. I've been waiting 2 months. No, not 2 months. I've been waiting probably a good month for the letter to come through. Apparently I filled it out wrong. Anyway, I've got it there. I've got to pay 100 quid and have 3 points, or I can go on a speed awareness course. Oh, I guess which one I'm doing. I've just got to book it online, sit there, answer some questions. I've never actually done one before, because I'm a good boy. I'd never speed. Well, I never get caught. Well, that's not true, because I've just been caught. Rambling. Okie dokie. So what am I doing today? Well, it's almost in 4 weeks time, this bike of mine, this amazing, and I mean it, an amazing bike, this R1250 GS that I bought 3 years ago. I got the letter through saying, Mr. English, on the 19th or the 9th of August, we're going to take a chunk of money out of your account because you owe us the final payment. So I'm going to go. Unfortunately, Glenn, who sold me it, Glenn Maddock, really top guy. Unfortunately, he's left BMW now, but he's had a word with Mark, the manager, and so I phoned him up and said, Mark, can I come and see you, because I need to discuss the options. Obviously I want the next bike, I want to order it, but I want to see the bloody thing first. Well, let me put this screen up. Yeah, I want to see the damn thing first, so I'll probably buy regardless, but I want to see the colour schemes, the options. Obviously when I bought this, I bought the full billet pack. Get away from him. Yeah, so I kind of want to do that again. I don't want to, however amazing the new bike I'm sure is going to be, and hopefully it's going to look, I quite like all this billet stuff, the mirrors and the HP pack that you get. And I kind of want it again, so I need to speak to him to see if that's going to be an option. If not, well, if he hasn't got details of it, which I very much doubt he will have today, I'll probably just arrange to pay the final payment and then stick with this probably till the end of the year, maybe even leave it at the beginning of next year, have a look at what my options are, and if I like the new one and I like the look of it and I can get what I want, I'll order the new one. Obviously I haven't got any real idea how much this one's worth. It needs a good detail. I'll have to get in touch with Pete down at Super Shield Auto down in London and speak to him, and maybe have a ride down there and get him to detail it. I might even put it in the van so I don't have to ride it back before I actually trade it in. But like I say, that's probably not going to happen until next year now. I'll probably get the Spain trip, the Picos, at the end of September. I'll be definitely doing that on this bike. But the one thing that has just occurred to me this morning, because the tax renewal came through the post, that it's going to need an MOT. I absolutely detest MOT and anything, whether it's cars or vehicles. I never usually keep them long enough. So but I'm going to have to, because the new model isn't available, and I don't really want to sell this to just buy something else to then trade it in again, you know, in 6 months time. So, but having said that, genuinely, if the new model comes out and I don't like it, or I'm not keen on the certain colour scheme, or I might start looking at something else for a bit. You know, I've got no worries at all about jumping a KTM. I've got a 690 KTM Super. No, I haven't got. I've got a KTM Enduro 690 Enduro R. So, and I haven't got any real. The KTM's a fantastic bike. I've got no worries about going to buy that bike. So that is an option if the new one comes and I'm not keen on it. I did think about buying the Husqvarna Northern Expedition. I genuinely thought, do you know what, I could probably save myself 10 grand and go buy that. I could potentially go and get that and just mothball this until I trade it in till the new one comes out, but because it's such good value, that bike. But unfortunately, although I haven't ridden the Expedition model, I have ridden the 901, the Norden, sorry. And although I think it's absolute amazing bike, the ergonomics don't work for me for some bizarre reason. I know the bars for me seem to be turned in a little bit too much. Now that's, again, I haven't ridden the Expedition. I don't know if it was different to the Norden that I ridden. But when you stand up as well, the tank seems to really incur on your knees. Now you want to grab the tank with your knees, you definitely do that, but you don't want it already pressed on there. It just seemed a bit wide. I don't know if it was where the seat position is, or it's the actual base of the tank. I just felt when I stood up, it felt like it was pressing. I want to be able to squeeze the tank. I don't want the tank to squeeze me, if that makes sense. So yeah, that sort of put a bit of a downer on it. I sat on it and stood up on it on the ABR, because I genuinely was thinking, do you know what, that might be a little stopgap. It might be a nice, really nice bike to have as a stopgap while I wait for the model that I think I want. And then I went and sat on the Desert X, the Ducati Desert X. Now I am not a Ducati fan. I think they're an amazing bike. Ash, my son, absolutely loves them. He's Ducati through and through, loves them. I just don't like the sort of vibey nature of the way the Ducati engines are. That I don't know. Sometimes when I go on the bike, I sit on it for, you know, till the fuel runs out. You know, I sit on it very regular. I sit on it for 2 hours at a time. You know, longer if I'm just pootling about. And I just think that bike might be just a bit vibey, a bit too vibey. But having said that, the ergonomics of it was absolutely amazing. It felt amazing to be a place to be sat at. My son took it out and he was buzzing. He actually took it around the adventure trail with Ducati, and came back, said yeah, it's fantastic. He does want to take it on a longer run before he commits, which is, you know, a really sensible thing to do. Because he's using his 950 Multistrada, he's doing things on it that it shouldn't be done, really. I mean, there's no justification really for taking that around the trail. It's not designed to do it. It's, you know, it just has to just drop to the ground and things break off it. It's not designed for that type of thing at all. So, but again, with him working away and obviously a young family, it's difficult to balance justifying it, because he doesn't ride enough to warrant to have another new bike sat there. Well, however nice it may be, but we'll see. He'll make his own decision. But yeah, but this bike, I honestly, I love it. I can't remember how many miles I've done on it, and it's in the mid-20s. I've done 26,000 I think, something like that I've done on it since I bought it, which isn't bad going considering I tried to hold down a full-time job, and obviously I've got other bikes that I take out and play on. So yeah, not too bad. I've really enjoyed it. I've got this bike exactly how I want it. It's perfect. If it wasn't for the fact that, you know, I have to MOT it and obviously there's a new model coming off, if there wasn't a new model coming out, I would genuinely just keep hold of this, because it's an amazing machine. But like all shiny new things you see, like, I'm a bit of a magpie, I would like the newest one, but we'll see what it looks like when it comes. I've actually sold the Bullet. I sold the Bullet to well, I put it up for sale, not officially put it up for sale, I just mentioned it on Instagram to my small circle of friends on there. Just said I've got it, because I did have quite a few people said if I ever did sell it, they'd love to buy it. But those people that said they wanted to buy it unfortunately aren't in a position at the moment to buy another bike, however much they would love to. So I just left it, and I thought, well, you know, I don't need to sell it. I don't really want to be fair. I quite enjoy owning it. Even my wife's Kath, she turned around and said, what the hell are you selling it for? You love taking that on the odd, you know, summer's evening and just pooling, which I do. I love it. I love nothing more than taking that out and go and find a small country pub somewhere that I haven't been in before and just sit in, and it's nice to look at. And granted, it's only a 250cc, but it's fab on the country lanes, and it's lovely, and it gets a stupid amount of attention everywhere I park it up. You know, people even, they could be stood next parked next to a Panigale, and people are sit and stare, which is bizarre because it's not a high value bike. Anyway, so I left it, and I thought, yeah, look, if well, I'll tell you what I did do. I saw another bike that I quite like the look of, and it was from a dealer, so I phoned him up and I said, would you fancy doing a bit of a Part X, because I hate selling things private. And he goes, I'd love to, but that bike that you're after is a private sale, we're just selling it for the gentleman, so he needs the cash to go buy something else. So that was fair enough. So ironically, that bike is still available, but I've got my eye on something else. So yeah, so the Bullet sold. Just out of the blue, I got a telephone call, a message rather, off a guy just asking me where he could buy one, because he's been trolling the internet and all the bike buying sites for the exact model I've got, and he couldn't find one anywhere. So so I basically said, well, this is your lucky day, pal, because if you want, I'll sell you mine. And he was blown away. He effectively nearly transferred the money there and then. But he came down, had a look at it, took it out for a little spin, fell in love with it, and yeah, transferred the money almost there and then. I needed to take the private plate off it, which I did. That only took a few days to come, so I messaged him and said, it's that's done, the paperwork's back. Oh, that reminds me, actually, I've got to fill the new paperwork out in his name. Oh damn, I meant to do that. I'll have to do that tonight. Yeah, so he's left it with me because he's having a garage built, but he effectively, I don't own the bike any longer. So that's the Bullet. That's that little bit of biking history gone. But no, I loved it. I don't have any regrets selling it, to be honest with you. I think I did give me what I wanted. I enjoyed owning it. So what can you ask for, really? So the bike that I've got my eye on, I think I'm going to buy another trials bike. Just exactly what I did with the Honda CRFs when I bought one of those. I bought a spare one that I could say to my friends, you know, do you fancy coming out for a spin, you know, see what this off-roading malarkey's like, do you want to, and I'd lend them a bike. Obviously if they've got a bike of their own, they're insured on it, so it was fairly easy. And those type of bikes, if you look after them, you don't really lose any money on them. So it's, you know, whether the money's sat under your bed in a bank or sat in a garage in a bike, it's, you're not making any money from the banks these days. So I bought a CRF and I lent it to some of my friends who loved it, and they've gone on now to buy their own, which has been absolutely amazing. We've got a nice group of guys now with the off-roady bikes, and we're really enjoying getting out on them. So I think I'm going to possibly do the same with the trials bike, because I took a good friend of mine, Ian Judd, out recently on the trials bikes. He'd been up to Inch Perfect Trials and had a taster day with his friend Kurt and loved it. But there's a difference between doing something and then physically going buying one. When you know, there's not many places you can ride a trials bike. You've got to be a member of a club or have access to, you know, good terrain to ride it. So so I took him out. I rode my son's bike. My son's still got his trials bike, so I took that, and Ian rode my Honda Repsol trials bike. I loved it, absolutely loved it. We had an absolute cracking day, and he, I think he is actively looking to go buy one, which is fab. So yeah, so I think I'm going to use the money that I got from the Bullet to go towards buying another trials bike. But I'd quite like to buy another Honda, because they are so easy for a beginner to ride. The 4-stroke engine, you know, they've got you know, oodles and oodles amount of power, but you only get that power if you really, you know, crank it up. You can just put it in third gear and tootle around on, you know, quite extreme terrain. So they're a fab bike to learn on. You know, the 2-strokes are a little bit more aggressive, and you've got to use the gears a lot more and be very selective what gear you're in, where the 4-strokes will just plod on. So I think I'm going to buy another, but obviously typical, the Honda Repsol bike are the dearest out of them all. Excuse me. Yeah, but I've got my eye on a few. There's a couple for sale. One down in where is it now? There's one Birmingham way that I've really got my eye on. I just need to go and have a look at. So yeah, I might after my trip, which is not far away now. What day are we on today? It's Saturday the 8th today, and on Tuesday the 18th, 10 days time, I'm off on a Morocco trip, which has been in the planning for the last 3 years. I booked it for my 50th birthday. Yeah, I know. I'm now 53. Yeah, I booked it for my 50th, like a bucket list. I've got a bucket list of a few trips that I want to do, and this is one of them. And it's the Morocco trip with Toro Adventure. Excuse me, sorry, I've got a chest infection that I've been fighting for the last 2 months. Yeah, so it's finally it's coming up. So yeah, that's a week on Tuesday. Flying to Malaga. There's 7 of us on the trip. There's a Norwegian guy, a German guy, a Dutch guy, I believe. There's another Brit, Linda, myself, and good old Bruce Smart is also on the trip. It's going to be stupidly hot. We're all panicking a bit about the temperatures it's going to be. We've all been out and bought mesh shirts and thinking about lightweight body armour and things. Talking about body armour, good old Adventure Spec do a shirt, an undershirt, which is called the Super Shirt, which has got this fantastic armour built into it, and you could literally just wear it by itself, and you know, it's got skid rating. It's an amazing bit of kit. So Bruce and myself were really grateful that Adventure Spec sent us a shirt each to take on this Morocco trip. Really generous of them. Yeah, so they sent us one each, and and it's unbelievable quality, fantastic. It is going to be an amazing bit of kit to own. Having said that, I've got some reservations about taking it out to Morocco. I've emailed the company, I've spoken to them, I've told them my concerns, and you know, it's because it's really substantial, it's, you know, fantastic, well made. It's quite a considerable piece of kit, and I think on this Morocco trips, because we'll be talking about temperatures of up to 45 degrees, you know, in direct sunlight. You know, that's not to be sniffed at. I've rode in 45 degree before. It's no fun. It really isn't. You know, combine that with desert riding and, you know, stuff like that, it's gonna be a bit amazing. Don't get me wrong, it's gonna be amazing, but it's also potentially gonna be quite draining, energy sapping. You know, it's definitely going to take some effort to do, and I think the last thing I want is some bulky bit of kit underneath wearing. So I've took the decision that I'm actually not going to take it. Bruce is taking his. I think he does feel obliged to. You know, I'm just some bloke who loves riding. I'm not, you know, I'm not Teapot One or Richie or Mr. Denoni, you know, I'm none of these guys who, you know, who actually make a career out of this, that type of lifestyle. So yeah, but I've spoken, they're cool about it, you know, they're absolutely fine. And they've already told me that they know people that have already bought the shirt because I've showed them it, and I have tried to shout about it a bit. So that's fab. But yeah, so I've decided not to take it. Thankfully I do have another armoured shirt that I can take, which is a lot lighter weight, and I'll use that. So yeah, that's a bit of a well, I say a bit of a disappointment. It is a bit, because I was really looking forward to showcasing it, I guess, you know, just but one of my biggest concerns is if I do decide that it is a bit of a bulky item to have out there, and then I want to pack it away again, because it's relatively bulky to pack away with limited in space we've got to carry. I'm only taking my like Fox roll bag, waterproof roll bag with me, you know, and it's only about 20 litres or something, because we don't need a lot when we're on the road. We're not taking any camping equipment or anything like that. We literally just going to carry our evening clothes, some spare riding kit, and our toiletries. Really, we don't need a lot. So because of that, we're not taking big bags. So yeah, so if I have to try and pack the super shirt away, there might not be sufficient room, or it might be a challenge, and I don't want any challenges on the trip. So yeah, so yeah, I've decided not to take it. But hey ho, the trip is the most important bit, you know. You know, if VentureSpec turned to me and said they'd want it back because of that, you know, 100% I'd send it back, but they haven't, and they've been great. So we're just about to pull into Virtue BMW and have a word. What time are we on? It's been their sort of open morning this morning, where they do free breakfasts and things, so I did intend to come a little bit earlier and have breakfast, but the wife had already made breakfast, so I thought I'll just leave it. And I wasn't due to have a chat till after that event had finished anyway, which is 12 o'clock, which is perfect timing really. 10 to 12 now. So yeah, so anyway, that's probably enough of my rambling for now. The deal never shut up for half an hour. Right, so we're gonna pull in here, have a word, see what we can put together. Like I say, and I think I've got an idea, I know what's going to happen. I think I'm just going to have to pay the final payment, and because in the ideal world, what I'd have done, the new bike would have been ready, I would have just traded this in and just carry on you know, paying the payment. So, but that the new bike's not ready, as I've said. So right, anyway, I'll naff off. I'll stop me rambling, and I'll catch you later on. I'll get in there. Okay, so let me just switch this bloody thing off. Indicators off. Right, okay. Bye for now. Oakley dokley. So we've been in. We've had a bit of a chat. We've done all the paperwork and sorted everything out for the final payment. Although we haven't actually, I haven't signed on the dotted line because I've still got a couple of weeks. The way the finances worked on this one, you pay obviously money every single month, and there's one final payment to come out before the actual final payment, if that makes sense. So that comes out on the I think the 18th of this month. Let me put that bloody screen up again. I'm getting a load of wind. There's a storm brewing. So yeah, so I need to sort that final payment, which I said I'll just do now, but the way it works you can't do. So we're going to have to wait till the 18th or after the 18th, and then it's just a case of pressing the button. But unfortunately I'm away, so it'll probably have to wait till I come back, but that's fine because I'll have 2 weeks grace by the time I come back before they take the chunk of money out of the bank. So that's the plan. So let's get rid of this car. Yeah, so that's the plan. So regarding ordering the new one, obviously he said I can put a deposit down for the new one, but one, they don't know how much it's going to be. One, there's no specs there's nothing to spec. You can't order a specific one. You can't say, okay, I'll order the triple black, or I'll order, you know, the trophy colours or the rally colours, which is, you know, so all you would be doing is securing a bike for whatever's first available, and then it'd be up to you to either say yes, I want that one, or no. So that's not ideal. So once this is sort of paid off, which I say will happen in probably about 4 weeks time, I would think. And then I'll just sit and wait. I'll sit and wait till the model comes up, and I'll see it and see what it looks like, and then I'll do it. But at least all the paperwork's done for sorting the final payment out, and I'll do that probably when I get back from my little trip. Well, I was hoping to go for a nice ride out this afternoon somewhere, and I would enjoy the cooler temperature. Well, say it's 22 degrees now, but enjoy the cloud cover a bit. It's a bit cooler. But I've just had a look at the weather forecast, and it's supposed to absolutely tonk it down. Now you watch, it probably won't happen till 5 PM or something, so anyway, I could have had a ride out, but as you can see I'm not dressed for it. I've got my jeans on. So what we'll do, we'll go home. There you go, look at the clouds over there, look. Yeah, there's a storm brewing, so we'll get home, we'll chill out this afternoon, and we'll have a look at the weather tomorrow. I've got another free day tomorrow to do as I please, so we'll reevaluate the weather tomorrow, and maybe if it is raining I can at least get some Gore-Tex gear on. We'll see. Although the British Grand Prix is on this weekend, so I'll go home and watch the qualifying now. That's just about to start actually, so that's good timing. I've also got a few little bits and pieces getting delivered this afternoon for my trip. I've actually bit the bullet and ordered myself a new set of off-road boots. Now I was going to just use the boots that I've had for quite a few years because they're well bedded in, they fit like a glove, but they are very tired and they let a lot of water in now. Not that I have to worry about that in Morocco, but the soles are, you know, they're knackered basically. I don't want them falling to bits while I'm out there, so I've ordered a new set of boots. Now I don't know if they're getting delivered today, but I've ordered them over a week ago from Germany, and I haven't had a confirmation of dispatch yet, which is a bit of concerning, but we will still probably just turn up one day. But I would have liked them to turn up this weekend so I can maybe try and break them in a little bit, but we'll see. I think that's it. I've ordered myself a new travel bag because again we're travelling fairly light, but I still need to take quite a bit of stuff on the plane, i.e. all my riding kit, which I'll be wearing. So I've ordered myself a new bag that's getting delivered in between 12 and 2 today, so it's either been took back to the post depot or it hasn't been delivered yet, so we'll soon see. So yeah, really looking forward to this trip. It's been in the planning for quite some time. Obviously because of the old COVID, it got delayed back in 2020 and 2021. We decided when it did get cancelled we'd go to Portugal instead, but of course the restrictions were a bit too much for 2020 to Portugal, so we canned that idea. And then in 2021 we thought it might be back on again, and of course it wasn't. So it was all scheduled for the Morocco trip back in 22, but because the border didn't open until very late in the year, you're kind of hanging on and hanging on. Are we going? Are we not going? Are we going to do it? So, and in the end there was other things that just got booked, like the Picos got booked, and you know, there was other things that did a trip around Scotland and other bits and pieces, and so I actually decided that phoned Lyndon and just said, look, let's just scrap it in 22, you know, it's too late in the season, let's just 100% get it on schedule for next year, 23, and that's what we did. And we're almost a week away from departure, so it's finally come around. So once this trip's done, Morocco trip, that says a bucket list trip, once that's done I'll either fall in love with it and want to do it again, but I've got another few trips I want to do. There's another big trip that I really want to do. I want to do the Vietnam trip. I want to go sort of Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand trip. I want to do that on, you know, some little adventure bike, well, probably like a little Honda 250 or something out there. Desperately do that. I want to experience that. I've been out of Thailand. I've been fortunate enough to go out of Thailand but not ride. Well, that's not true. I have ridden out on a scooter on like a holiday resort, but I really want to experience it, and so that's definitely on my bucket list. Iceland, my god, that after seeing Rich doing that trip at Iceland, 100% want to do that, but that again is a lump of money. That is a lump of money, that trip. But you know, fortunately when people provide services and equipment and guides and things, you know, they all come at a cost, and you've got to pay for people's time, not only what they're providing you. So, but it is a lump of money. But that's one that again, it's on the list. I don't know whether it'll get done. Of course the America trip that Rich he's got in the pipeline for, you know, in the near future, whether that's next year, the year after, but it's definitely in the near future. Everything will get, you know, put aside for that trip. So that's another, obviously, a bucket list trip to do. And with talking to Rich, the plans that he's got for that one is it's going to be visually unbelievable. So yeah, my name's down for that one. You know, I've been very, very grateful and thankful that he included me in his very small list of people that he would like to go on that trip. So yeah, so hopefully that's in the near future. There's the rain. Oh, here we go. Well, that's come earlier than we thought, hasn't it? Right, button up a bit. You're going to get wet, son. You're going to get wet. Well, that's come a lot earlier than it said. 5 o'clock it said on me on the app. I thought I might have missed it, but no such luck. Hey, what an amazing weekend we had. A fortnight ago at the ABR. Absolute amazing trip, you know. And the people that we congregate with, we all try to have a little congregation. We all communicated through Messenger and, you know, Instagram, where we all tried to get together, and a couple of the lads went the day before and set up and, you know, tried to corral us all together. You know, Mark Keenan, he went the day before and you know, found a pitch that we could all try and get to, and, you know, there was some really, you know, there's a really good bunch of people now that are in our little community, and I'm grateful. I'm really grateful to class all of them, you know, if you're watching this rambling, yeah, I'm so grateful that you not only I can call you friends, that you're actually in my life. You know, I'm really thankful, and, you know, people take the time out, and it's a community not like any other ever I've been in before. The biking community, we're all one, you know. It just feels normal. You don't see some people, you know, from one year to the next, you don't see them, but when you do see them, it's kind of your long lost friends. It's bizarre, it's fantastic, love it, absolutely love it. You genuinely couldn't meet a nicer bunch of people, and will do absolutely anything for you. I still can't get over seeing people wearing like a t-shirt that I've got. That genuinely I bought because I wanted my own t-shirt, and it just happened to go on the website, on the influencer store, Roger and Charlotte's page, and they put it up for sale. And, you know, and I said to them, I said, this is you know, I just wanted my own t-shirt, you know. I didn't think for one second anybody else would buy it, and we come to a bit of a deal that any profits go direct to Bowel Cancer UK, which is amazing. You know, not that I've got any links to bowel cancer at all, but I know Roger, who runs the thing, you know, he did. So when he said, you know, the whole premise of the t-shirt thing is that so people can, you know, potentially make a couple of quid from it. You know, that's how the world works at the end of the day. But that wasn't what it was about for me. I would like my own little logo, and I just fancied it, you know, and just for my own personal thing. But yeah, I mean, some people actually went and paid their own hard-earned money for them, and yeah, quite a lot of them had them, and had them when I turned up, which was honest, so quite overwhelming, to be honest with you. But I love it. I loved it. It just felt. But that's the community we've got. The support each other, and it's fab, absolutely fab. You know, and it's through people, you know, like Rich and Bruce, and, you know, Fish and Chopsy and Mr. Flyers, people like that, who you know, I don't aspire to be in any way, shape or form. That's not my gig at all. You know, I'm not in the game of you know, motor vlogging, although ironically that's exactly what I'm doing at this minute in a way. but that's their gig. I'm just a bloke who loves riding and love being around riders. You know, I've been on this planet 53 years, and you know, I spent a lot of that time building up a career and a business, and it's only been in the last 10 years, well, really 5 years, that I've been fortunate enough to have a bit more time and maybe a little bit more accessible funds that I can enjoy my passion. And that's exactly what it is. It's my passion, and I've always loved bikes, but when it's part of you, when it's inside you, I don't know, it sounds soppy, but you know, I've spoken to this with, you know, like-minded people before, and you know, when you're out in the countryside and you're just there on your own and you just see it for what it is, utter beauty, and it gets you nuts. But I don't know, it's healthy. I think it really is healthy. But yeah, and it does help having an amazing machine underneath you to enjoy it. But it doesn't matter what you ride, does it? Doesn't matter. There's a bike out there for everybody. There really is. You know, there's some bikes that, you know, potentially aren't as good as others, but who cares? If that's what you like and you love the look of it and you love the way it feels, and some people actively love the character of some rattly bikes, if you like, you know, and love tinkering with older machines and love the fact that they've fixed something. And but that's what's good about the world, isn't it? We're all individuals. Yeah, the ABR, what an amazing well-run event. Yeah, it really was fantastic, well-run event. The organising of that, you know, I know how much work puts into the, you know, the Wildbad weekend, and you know, I know that really keeps him up at night and organising that, and he's had some teething issues, which you're going to, aren't you? When you do so, you've got to try something and you learn from it, don't you? And I think this one that he's got planned this year, he's going to top them all. But unfortunately, and I am genuinely gutted, I'm not going to be able to get there because I don't get back from my trip in time. I was going to get there on the Saturday to be able to get there the Saturday night, but unfortunately the Morocco trip got moved back a day, so yeah, I'm going to miss it, which I genuinely am gutted about. Yeah, but hey ho, you know, you can't do everything, and like I say, this trip you've got to put things aside. Oh, we need some fuel. But yeah, genuinely gutted, because it's an amazing well event, and Rich puts his heart and soul into it, and I say a lot of sleepless nights in putting it all together, and he'll make it amazing. Yes, but the ABR was, and again, fantastic, and it's something that I really enjoy bringing my family along to as well, because it is such an amazing atmosphere. You know, my wife Kath came, and my son and my daughter-in-law Kim came, and you know, we loved it. Kath and Kim went down in the van, then me and Ash rode down, and having the van obviously helps because you can just pack it full of your weekend camping stuff, and me and Ash can enjoy the ride down. Not sure what we're going to do next year. Ash has already said he's working next year, but hopefully he'll be able to get a shift swap. I think next year we might, I'm looking at changing my van anyway, so whether I buy a camper van or whether I just buy another van, but I would tend maybe taking the dirt bikes next year, because again, these bikes, the GSs and the Multistradas, are an amazing bike, but they are a bit too much to be hurtling around tracks and trails, especially what we do. We do push them a bit more than we should. So yeah, so we're thinking about taking the CRF and the KTM next year, although I don't know whether I'll have the KTM next year. If there's a bike that I'm going to sell, it probably is the KTM. I've got my eye on the new, there's a bike that just come out, just got released in the UK. It's a 450 rally. It's made by a Chinese company called Kovo. I mean, I could sell the KTM and just put a couple of quid towards that. I mean, it's such good value. I've got my eye on that maybe. But we'll see. I don't necessarily need to change any of those bikes. I say I've got my eye on another trials bike, so that's the first bike to be changed. But yeah, whether I have the KTM next year or not, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. These third world problems, eh? Yeah, so we've got a bit of a break after we get back from Morocco. Get back. I've got basically all of August free. And all of September almost I've got free. I've got the wife and daughter, they're going away, so I'll have to limit my activity while they're away, because obviously we've still got 2 dogs at home and a business to run, obviously. So yeah, the 2nd and 3rd week of August I'm a little bit tired of. Where are you going? And then I've got nothing, no trips or anything bad until the last week of August, and then back to Spain, back to the Picos, northern Spain, for a week with Rich and some guys, which again, we know what that trip's going to be. That trip's going to be amazing. I just pray for a smooth crossing. Right, well, I've been rambling on for bloody hell for far too long. If you've actually sat and listened to me yabber on, there's an award in the post. But I just wanted to say, you know, if you're watching my stuff, we probably know each other, because nobody that doesn't know me is not going to sit through this waffle. So I just want to say, you know, I really appreciate you being in my life. I really, really, really do. It's that's it really. I just really do appreciate everything, and I'm getting a bit soppy in my old age where time is the most valuable thing I've got, and you know, for people to spend their time with me is you know, is fab. So I'll end this because I'm going to go home. I've got wet, but I haven't got saturated, thankfully. But yeah, I'm going to go home, put the bike away, watch the Grand Prix qualifying, and then see what the weather's like tomorrow. Right, I'll just say I love you and leave you. And I haven't got a tagline, I haven't got anything to finish off. I just want to say, you know, I love you being in my life, effectively. Right, alright, that's enough. Right, I will catch you in another 12 months or something. Alright, have a good one. Bye bye.